Howdy, Chris here. Welcome back to Garage Noise. Today we're going to be talking about primer. We're going to talk about how to mix primer, how to apply primer, how you want to prep out your body filler before primer, and then we'll talk about how to sand and prep out that primer for paint. There's some things you need to know to get the best results possible. So I'm going to walk you through that entire process. We'll also talk about block sanding and how to verify that everything is straight before you apply your base coat. I am going to include with this a PDF file that's available for you at garagenoisegear.com. This is going to have an outline step-by-step of how to go through this process, what to pay attention to, what to watch out for. That's just a good resource to look back on and verify that you're understanding what you need to do before you apply your paint and your clear coat so you get the best results possible. We're going to be working on this Dodge Stealth today. So previously we did the body repair. We have this door here which we did the body work on. Check that out on my channel. I'll leave a card up above if you want to check out that video. This is all ready for primer now. So we finish our body work in 320 grit scratch. That's what we apply our primer over. That's coarse enough so the primer adheres properly, but it's not so coarse that that primer is going to dry and shrink into those scratches and then create problems in your base coat and your clear coat. We're going to finish masking this up. We're not going to cover this entire vehicle. We're going to be spraying with a very low air pressure. But let's finish masking this off, and then I'll share with you what primer we use and how to mix up primer properly. The primer we're using is the 2253V. 2253V is a 2K primer. You can use it as a high build primer, a primer surfacer, which is just a thinner primer, and that's what we're going to be using it here. Or you can use it as a sealer. So if you mix it up 4-to-1, that's going to be a high build primer. It's going to be a really thick product. If you use it as a primer surfacer, you're mixing it 4-to-1-to-1. So 4 parts primer, 1 part of the activator. We're using the slow activator. And then 1 part urethane reducer. If you want to use it as a sealer, it's 4-to-1-to-2. So 4 parts primer, 1 part activator, and then 2 parts urethane reducer. We got the disposable cup system here. This is what we're using. I prefer these. You just dispose of the liner and the lids. And then this is your measuring cup here. So we're going to go to the 4-to-1 mixing ratio right there. I'm going to mix to the 2 in primer. So we'll fill it up to this number 2 in the 4 column. Then we'll go to the 1 column, put our 1 part activator in there. We'll fill up to the coordinating 2 in the 1 column. We'll go to this 1 column and we'll put reducer. Stir this up. You want to make sure this is stirred up really well. Lock the lid on. Make sure it's sealed. Now we are going to use this low volume, low pressure paint gun. This is the R500. This is equipped with a 1.5 tip. We're going to set the air pressure fairly low at about probably 15-20 psi. We're at 30 right now. So there's 15. We're going to turn the fluid volume. I'm just going to open it up 2 turns out from closed. So I'm closing it all the way, 2 turns out. Fan pattern, I'm going to open up about halfway, I think. 2 coats on. See how there's not very much overspray or anything? You just want to keep this air pressure low. I'm not pulling the trigger all the way right now. We're going to put 1 coat on. We'll let it flash off for about 10-15 minutes, and then we'll put another coat on. So this has all been sanded with 320, like I said. And this is straight. Now, if this was wavy, we might want to use a high build primer, or we might want to use this primer as a high build, where we have some extra material to block out any waves or imperfections. Okay, that's the first coat. We're going to let that flash off. We'll come back after this is cured. We're going to start by block sanding this with 320 grit sandpaper. We are going to start off by adding some guide coat. This is going to show us any high or low areas. It's going to show us any texture in the primer that we need to sand out, because we need to have this primer smooth before it's ready. So as we block this out, if we have a high area, we'll break through. If we have a low area, this guide coat's going to sit in that low area, and then we can evaluate that and see what we need to do to get that straightened out. I'm just going to start back here. We're going to work our way forward. We'll finish this before we paint with 600. So we're going to go kind of use the block at an angle. Block it in one direction, then we'll block it in the other direction. I'm going to feel over it. So I feel a little bit of a low spot here. I feel a little bit of a high spot here. So I'm going to try and block that out. Feel a little high spot here. So I'm going to block over that high spot, kind of try and block it down. If we do need to add another coat of primer on this, we will. Yeah, there's a high spot right here. We're going to get into the paint here, so we can use the paint to kind of level this out as well. And if we need to put a skim coat of filler in it, we will. We can use some glazing putty to fill this. So right here there's a low spot, right here's a high spot, and then there's another little low spot here. I really don't want to get into glaze if I don't have to, so I'm going to try and block it out with the paint, and we'll try and put some primer over it if we need to. See how you can see the low spot? High on either side, low right there. We'll see if we can just get this straightened out. We do have some material there. I don't know, what, this was obviously painted before. Well, it's obvious to me, it was painted before. I may have to put a thin coat of filler over this. This is actually straightening out here, that low spot that was there, but this is not out. Let's see if that's bare metal. Nope, that's not bare metal. This has got some kind of primer underneath it. Might have enough material here so we can block this out and just primer over it. It's getting real close to being out. I might be being a little too particular with this vehicle, but I like things to be straight. That is much better, much better there. I think we're going to be good there, right here. So let's block the rest of this. But the nice thing about this guide coat is you can remove all that texture. You can see where that texture is, and this gives you a great idea when that texture has been removed. The reason I'm using a small block and not a long block is because this is a small area and it does have some contours in it, and I want the block to lay flat against the panel. It's important that the block not teeter on that panel, it lays flat against it. Now, most cases you want to use a longer block, a block that's going to cover the majority of the surface area or the repair that you're blocking out. It's important to block in different directions. Blocking in a crosshatch or X pattern is the best way to get this panel straight. You also want to make sure when you're evaluating it, you develop a feel for the panel, so you want to be able to lay your hand flat against the panel, run it quickly across the panel, and that's how you can feel those slight waves or imperfections. So you're going to be able to feel the contours of the panel when you develop that skill. That's an important skill to have. It's going to help you be able to block this primer straight and your bodywork. Guide coat will not always show you those slight waves. This section feels good now, so we're going to move on to the door. We may have to apply a thin coat of primer over, or I may decide to cover those breakthroughs with a sealer. Just going to pop this open a little bit so I can get this edge here. So one thing you want to look for is if you run into any high spots. So if you hit a spot of bare metal, so we're almost down to bare metal right here. We're almost down to bare metal right here, and that is a little bit high. We could use a flat spoon to kind of flatten that out, but it's very minimal. When we put a thin coat of primer over this, we'll be able to block that totally flatten out. Now here I could use a long block on this and it would probably be beneficial, but because I'm using a small block, I worked my way from the edge of the door all the way across the repair, blocking in different sections so I can make sure those sections are straight. I need to sand in this door handle opening so I make sure that primer is smooth for when we insert that door handle. Now when I feel over this, hold my hand flat, feel quickly across this panel. And you want to feel in this direction too, up and down as well. Because sometimes what you'll find is you got a flat spot somewhere. This is why we block in all different directions. So right here is a slight flat spot, but it's not terrible. So this is maybe a little bit high or a little bit rounded. So we're going to block it down just a little bit. I get a lot of questions, what do I do if I run into a high spot when I'm blocking out my primer? So if you break through into bare metal, you've got a high spot there. You can tap that down and you can use a spoon, a flat spoon, or a body hammer, but you want to make sure you don't dent it. So I prefer a flat spoon to kind of level it out. You can use the pick hammer too. So you could use a pick to tap that high spot down. You want to be careful using the pick end of the hammer, but if you want to just tap it down a little bit and put a skim coat of polyester glazing putty, that will work as well. So right here, we broke through into body filler, which is fine because we're going to put one more coat of primer over this. Feeling all different directions. And this feels good this way too. That feels good. Now down low here, we're just going to sand this with a DA and a piece of 320. So we're going to use an orbital sander because we're not concerned about this being straight. It's covered by the cladding. We just need it to be nice and smooth. So I'm just going to run around the edges with this 320. Now all we're going to need is a thin coat of primer. Let's glow it off, tape it up. We'll put another coat of primer over this. And once we have a thin coat of primer over it, just a primer surfacer, we can go over this with 600 grit sandpaper and we'll be ready to go. I'll blow it off here and then we'll use a little bit of spray weight glass cleaner. This is a water-based cleaner. Just wipe it down, remove the dust before we mask it off. I'll use a soft edge masking foam to mask off the jam so we don't get any overspray or primer in the jam. We'll just lay it in the jam and then shut the door. Remember, if you're looking for any of these products that I use in these videos, check down in my description. I'll leave links to all these different products. Okay, so Derek's is mixing up some primer. Using the upol 2253V, we're mixing it up 4 to 1 to 1. That's a primer surfacer, so it's a thinner primer. So we're going to primer this. Apply your primer as smooth as possible. You will have to sand it smooth, but the smoother you can apply your primer, the smoother your base coat, the smoother your clear coat. You want to overlap your passes about 70 to 80%. You want to have a consistent speed and a consistent distance from the panel. As far as your gun settings, I apply my primer about 15 to 20 psi on the air pressure and about 2.5 turns out from closed on the fluid volume. Next is the step to apply our base coat and our clear coat, and I'm going to walk you through that entire process step by step, all the tips and tricks and techniques you need to get an excellent finish. So be sure to tune into that video next week. If you found this video helpful, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to turn on those bell notifications so you don't miss any upcoming videos. I appreciate each and every one of you watching, and we'll see you on the next episode of Garage Noise.